It's time for another review, guys, and today we are tackling an indie title that was published by EA, which immediately scares me, but this is A Way Out. I've heard some very interesting things about it, most of it good, so I decided to try it out myself, and let's see what I thought, shall we? Yeah! And the first thing I have to mention about this game is that it is a co-op only game. You can throw single player out the window, baby, because it is between you and a buddy. Now, this game can be played locally or online, but you are in fact required to play this game with somebody else, as it is impossible to play this game by yourself. And that might sound a little weird, but it makes sense as you play it. So do bear in mind, if you want to play this game, you need to make sure you have a buddy. Now, there is a big positive to this game, and that's if you decide to play online with a friend, you don't have to have two copies. If you or your buddy has a copy of this game, you can still play it together, and it's a really cool feature that this game allows, and I'm very happy that EA allows that too. I think that's really neat. Of course, I can't confirm how well that works due to the fact that it turns out my friend and I each have a copy of the game, but I still appreciate that offer. Now, this game does in fact have a split screen down the middle, and this is awesome. Usually when I play an online co-op game, it's just you and you can only see your own screen and then you just kind of talk about what you're doing. But in this game, the split screen is vital because you need to be able to see what your teammate is doing at all times so you can coordinate your efforts to achieve the task at hand, which is getting out of this prison and some other things. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I love it. I love being able to see what my teammate is doing at all times. So when he's goofing off or I'm goofing off, we can laugh about it, or we can call each other out, say, hey, I need your help. Especially when you're trying to do certain tasks, man, you really have to pay close attention to what each other are doing, and it is awesome. This game has nailed this perfectly. And can I just say that this is an indie title? This right here is an indie title, man. These graphics in this game looks good, especially when you think about it being for an indie title. Which means an indie dev team made this game. This is not a AAA game, it's just published by a AAA publisher. So I've got to say, hats off to you, Hazel Light Studios, for making a gorgeous video game, man. That's really impressive. Now, there are some things, though, that there are some drawbacks. After all, this is a review, right? Can't just gush about all the good that's here. One of them is the story, which I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm not that type of guy. But about halfway through, I kind of saw where it was leading to, and I kind of predicted the ending. I'm not saying you will. I'm just saying I've played enough games to see how things are going along, and this game became kind of predictable for the plot. Not that the plot was bad, it was just a little bit predictable. And then some of the tasks that you have to do are a little bit mundane, and sometimes you just want to get from point A to point B, and there's all these little things you have to do. And then sometimes you just want more side activities on top of that, and the prison, for example, doesn't have a lot of those. I mean, yes, you can do push-ups and find a few small things, but you can't play basketball at the prison, and I wish there was just a few more things you can do to spend time with your friend online in this game. The story itself is great, and when you just play through it, it's fine, but when you start, exploring everything, every nook and cranny, that's when you kind of wish there's a little bit more in this game. And then there's the fact that there are a lot of timed action commands for fight scenes, which for this type of game, I wish you could just fight normally. But hey, it is what it is. It's not the biggest drawback to the game. I wanted to be able to punch someone my own way, just kind of like a beat 'em up or a brawler. I feel like this game is perfect for that. What this game does execute well, though, is the stealth options. This game involves a lot of stealth, surprisingly enough, and I do love me some stealth games. So I appreciate that they have that in there, and it makes a lot of sense, especially when you're trying, once again, to get out of a prison and all the guards have guns and you just have your fist. So I like that you have to be stealthy in this game. It's a great twist to it. It's not all just combat. There's a lot of times you have to sneak around throughout the entire game and not get seen, because if you get seen, it's game over. And I love it. I think by now you've got a pretty good idea of what this game is about. It is a stealth cooperative game. That's right, you heard it here first. Stealth co-op game where fighting is in the main focus, where guns blazing is in the main focus, where cooperation with your online partner is the focus. And you know what? I like it. I like having games like this because there's just not a lot of them out there. And while the plot was kind of predictable, there were so many other good things about this game. The entire concept alone is just fantastic. The voice acting's pretty good. Not the best, but it's pretty good, so I'm not gonna dock at any points there. And if you're wondering if I recommend playing this game, I do, because it's only 30 bucks and you can get this on sale now for 10. So there's no reason to not try this, but like I said, make sure you have a buddy. Alright guys, let's give this game a letter grade now, and for those of you that are new here, I give letter grades because I just do. A being the best, F being the worst, and A Way Out gets a solid, and I mean a very solid, B. And it gets a B because, it's a really good game. There's just a few hiccups that kind of add up over time, but I did enjoy it, and I highly recommend you get this game if you want. Alright guys, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I am Bradley Overrated. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to click that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys on the next video that I do. Have a good one, guys.
Not a fan of heights? Not really. Let's hope these sheets will hold together then.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, it's sheets, not a rope. You never know.
Oh, shit.